All right, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about one of those features that's super powerful but often gets overlooked. I'm talking about tags. Now, I know they sound simple, right? But trust me, as we're about to see, they are basically the secret key to unlocking some amazing organization and automation on the platform.
So here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we'll cover the basics. What even are tags? Then we'll get into something really important, the difference between public and private tags. After that, we'll look at the actual rules for getting them implemented correctly, walk through a real-world example, and this is the best part, I'm going to show you why this is probably one of the best bang-for-your-buck features you can possibly implement.
Okay, first things first. What exactly is a tag? Let's break this whole thing down right from the very beginning. So, at its most basic level, a tag is just a label. Think of it like a little keyword, a short string of text that you can stick onto any of your data entities. And the whole point? It's all about helping you classify, find, and manage your stuff way, way more effectively. A great way to think about them is like smart, searchable, sticky notes. You can slap one on any piece of data. But here's the magic trick. You can instantly search and filter your entire system based on what you wrote on those notes. It's pretty cool. And this is where things get really powerful. Because these simple little labels, they translate directly into action. I'm talking filtering your data with surgical precision, automatically kicking off workflows the second a tag gets applied, building out specific segments for marketing campaigns. Ultimately, it just makes managing your whole site a ton easier. Okay, so we know what tags can do, but now we've got to talk about probably the single most important concept when you're using them, and that is the critical difference between public and private tags. And honestly, the difference is pretty simple. Think of it like this. Plain tags or public tags, they're for your customers. Things like on sale or gluten-free, stuff that helps users filter and find what they're looking for. But then you have private tags. These are for your eyes only, for your internal teams. They're for all your administrative workflows, like flagging an order for fast shipping, or maybe identifying a key supplier. And the key thing here is they're completely invisible to your end users. All right, so we've got the what and the why down. Now let's dive into the how, because there are a few key rules you absolutely need to follow to make sure you're implementing tags correctly and, more importantly, securely. So this is always the first question that comes up, right? Especially from developers. Okay, what do I actually have to do to make one of my entities taggable? And you know what? It's probably a lot more straightforward than you think. Okay, so according to AIP 7025, the foundation here is that your entity needs to have these two specific bulk update methods. Basically, you need a way to update tags on a specific list of entities, and you also need a way to update tags on a whole bunch of entities that match a filter. That second one is what makes this whole system so crazy efficient at scale. Now, on top of just having those methods, there are a few other key requirements. You have to officially annotate the entity as taggable. Make sure it has that root level tags field. But here's the big one, the most critical rule, and it's all about security. You must have a totally separate permission just for updating private tags. And why is that so important? Well, it's to stop a user, say someone who can create an order, from being able to sneakily add an internal admin tag like free shipping to their own order. That's a big no-no. All right, enough of the abstract rules and AIPs, right? Let's look at a quick practical example to see how this all actually comes together and why it's so incredibly useful. Okay, so picture this. A simple order comes into your system. The moment it's created, you can have automations that instantly apply private tags to it, things like high value or fast fulfillment or priority mail, and just like that, instantly, that order can be routed to a special workflow, it can notify a specific team, or get bumped to the top of the queue for handling. All of it happens automatically with zero manual effort. But really, the real magic kicks in when you start filtering, because your entities are now filterable by all these tags, both public and private ones. You can build these incredibly powerful custom views for your team. Just imagine having an admin dashboard where you can, with one click, see all high-value orders that are also tagged for priority mail. That is the kind of granular control that tags just hand to you. And now, we get to what is, in my opinion, the absolute best part of this whole explainer. We're going to talk about why this is what I call a free feature, and what the platform is already doing for you behind the scenes.
I mean, just look at this. This is all the heavy lifting the platform handles for you. You get a centralized service for managing all the tags. You get native support right in your code for assigning, unassigning, and filtering. You get Cairo tables that are ready to show and filter by tags. And you even get Cairo widgets for tag management added by default. All that complex back-end plumbing? It's already done. You know, this quote from the documentation really just sums it up perfectly. It says, if you use Nile, tags is practically free for you. And it's so true. Because all that underlying infrastructure is already built and maintained, the actual effort it takes for you to enable tags is just tiny compared to the massive value you get in return. The ROI is just off the charts. So as we wrap this up, it really all comes back to you, doesn't it? We've seen how this one simple-looking tool can help you segment data, drive powerful automation, and create these incredible filters. So the only real question left is, how are you going to use them to transform your site's experience?